everybody. You are listening to the Minding Mind podcast, where we live life with ease, connection, and permission to just be. I'm your host, Evelyn LeVasseur, and welcome back to another episode. Today, I am going solo, and we are celebrating my birthday because, well, today is my birthday. So I am going to share five, I don't want to say lessons, but they are just five things that I will no longer do now that I am fully committed to loving all of me. I, whew, so much. I am 47. I had to do the math before we hopped on, but 47. And I literally I literally spent so much of my life feeling like there was a version of me that I had to be so that I could, I don't know, earn the love that I wanted, so that I could be accepted by the people I was trying to be accepted by, so that I wouldn't shine too bright or stand out too much or not be seen as enough. I tried to shrink my body. I tried to get all the degrees, check all the boxes, right? Go to college, get the job, house, husband, kids, cars, bills, right? The exhaustion, the exhaustion of being someone who I thought I had to be instead of just being me literally left me depleted. But I didn't know who me actually was. I wasn't connected to me at all. I was performing. I was doing and being who I thought I needed to be rather than figuring out who God actually made me to be, if that's making sense. Because those are two very different people. There's the me who He created, there's the me who He put on this earth to serve my purpose out. And I really now fully understand that my purpose is to help women fully love themselves, not only because they deserve to feel that love for themselves, but because loving yourselves frees your children. Because loving yourself fully releases your kids from carrying your pain. Loving yourself changes the way you show up, changes your energy, changes how you feel when you walk in any room, changes how you feel when you look in the mirror. Loving you lets you drop the idea of who you need to be and lets you just be. And it wasn't until my 40s, truly, that I started to see how much of my life and myself I was disconnected from, and how much I desired more but couldn't figure out what that meant. So, going on this deep dive journey of figuring me out, figuring out what I want, figuring out, what supports me and my family, what helps me be the woman that I desire to be, that I know I am, and still keeps me connected to my family. And the answer was that the only way that I could do that was to be fully connected to myself. And I didn't really know what that meant, but I will tell you there were so many things that I did because I felt like I had to, and I won't do them anymore. So I'm going to share. The first one, the first thing that I will not do ever, ever, ever again is I will not water myself down to be palatable for anyone else. Let me say that again. I will not water myself down to be palatable for anyone else. What I'm saying is, I know that when I started really going in deep on this mindset journey, on this breaking of the shit that held me back, of figuring out who I was and what I actually believed, right? Because we have thoughts and beliefs that aren't even ours, and we don't recognize it because we don't question it. When I started to question it, I started to say, like, damn, well, where did that come from? Why do I think I have to be a specific size? Why do I think I have to have my house perfectly settled all the time? Why do I think that I have to look good every time I walk out the house? Why do I think I need to be quiet and abandon myself to keep the peace? Why do I think that I'm the strong one and no one else can do it? So many of those beliefs are literally just not true. They're not facts. They were things that were taught to us. They were things that exhausted me and burned me out. And I just accepted as truth. I just accepted that that was the way it had to be when really all I had to do was put that shit down. So I do not enjoy surface level conversations. I don't want to sit and talk about some shit you saw on Facebook or something that's happening with some celebrity. I don't enjoy that. I don't want to sit and chat about the weather. I don't care. I can look outside or I can check my app. Surface level conversation irritates me. Mostly because what I desire is connection. What I desire is truth. And what I desire is homecoming. And what homecoming, I mean literally coming home to yourself. So when I have to, or the times that I've sat around in groups of people, for example, when there's gossiping about other people, when there's arguing about things that are happening in the world, and I see that no one in that circle can self-reflect, that no one in that circle has any desire to do anything that leaves the world better than they found it, I'm turned off. My whole spirit is irritated and I don't want to bother. So I don't. And I won't. I will not water myself down. The bigness of my purpose, the fullness of my light desires reciprocation. And I'm going to keep striving for that. Something else that I will not do is this one's hard, okay? I will not be in rooms where I feel like I'm just tolerated. I want to be in spaces where I am loved, welcomed, and celebrated. And if I'm not loved, welcomed, and celebrated, then I just want to be absent. I don't want to be there. I don't want you to want me there. To explain this a little better, I guess, I have been in rooms with people who've invited me to things, who say they love me, who like all my content, who share some of my stuff, I guess, who reach out once in a while. But when I walk in the room, I feel their energy shift and not in a good way. I'm saying these people have spent time around me and it feels like it's out of obligation instead of desire. And I don't want that anymore. Like, I recognize that everyone's entitled to their feelings and you don't have to want to be around me. That's okay. I fully respect your decisions for yourself. And I respect my decisions for myself also. I don't want to be where I am simply tolerated. If I'm not welcomed with open arms from people that really want to see me win, that cheer me on when something great happens in my life, that sees me post something like I'm speaking at an event and they check on me after, how did it go? That's who I want to be around. The people who see when I get quiet can reach out and say, hey, what's up? What's going on? The people who also share themselves with me. The people who also trust that I can be a safe space for them. I am a safe space for them, and they are a safe space for me. Bottom line, if it's not reciprocal, I don't want it. I don't want any fake relationships. I don't want anybody being around me who doesn't want to be around me or who doesn't want me around. I mean, one, that shit is kind of hurtful. But two, what a waste of both of our time. Don't invite me. I'm not offended. I'm good. And more now than ever, it's just that now that's what I choose. I choose to stay away because I choose me. Another thing that I have stopped doing, and I mean stopped doing entirely, I will not say yes when I want to say no. Let me tell you, for the longest time, I would do all the things that I didn't want to do because I felt obligated to help. Because I told myself, well, they helped me once, now I need to help them. Because I told myself, well, it's family, so I can't say no. Because I told myself, well, my husband asked me to, so, well, I kind of have to. Or I told myself, this is something, or I don't see this person all the time, so I have to, right? I don't want to have to do anything, and I'm not going to. If I spend time with you, if I show up for you, if I call you, if I text you, if I invite you over, if I hop on a Zoom call with you, whatever it is, know that I want to. Know that I want to. Know that you are important enough to me that I want to do that. But also know that if I don't want to, or if I can't, I'm not going to feel guilty for saying no. My absence, when you have an event or whatever it is, or you invite me to something, my absence is not the same as not feeling something for you. I can love you and still not come. Maybe I have something else to do. Maybe I'm not feeling well. Maybe mentally and emotionally I'm overwhelmed. It's not about you. It's about me. So I know if I go somewhere, I want to be there. It's a priority in that moment. If there's a time where I have to be the priority or I tell myself I'm not up for it, I'm not coming. And the thing is, I hold that same grace for you. If I invite you to something and you can't come, I'm not mad. I got you. You don't owe me an explanation. You don't have to apologize. You don't have to feel guilty. We're good. We are good. I love you. I'll see you when I see you. I'm praying for you all the time anyway, and we will check in. But if we can't be together this one time or whatever event it is, there's no hard feelings. I am not doing anything. I am not forcing myself to do anything. I am not saying yes when I want to say no. Number four, the fourth thing is I will not speak negatively about myself under any circumstances. I did way too much of that. Oh God, I did way too much of that. Not only did I speak negatively about myself to other people, I constantly had negative thoughts running through my mind. Oh, I wanted to be thinner. I wanted to have more muscle tone. I wanted to feel like I had all the self-control in the world. I wanted to feel prettier. I wanted, it didn't matter. It didn't matter what it was. I put myself down. And it was almost like self-deprecation was my defense mechanism. I would put myself down either one, to try to beat somebody else to the punch if I knew they were going to make a joke about something, or to try to get them to give me a compliment. Because the truth is, for the longest time, I felt like I needed other people to love me. I needed them to see me. I needed them to think that I was valuable, for example, because if they could see it, then maybe I could, right? That was the disconnect. I needed it from other people because I didn't feel it for myself. And that constant negative self-talk was rooted in truth at the time. Like I felt pretty, but I didn't feel like I'd ever be enough. I didn't feel like worthy and valuable. So the negative self-talk was intense. And even when I said something positive about myself, there was a little voice in my head that said, stop it. That's not true. Or don't brag. Nobody likes that shit. Shut up. Right? I was mean to myself. And that didn't help anybody. So I will not be mean to myself anymore. I love me some me. I love my heart. I love my loyalty. I love how other people can be around me and they're free to just be themselves. They know they don't have to perform for me. They know they don't have to hide what they're feeling or what they're going through. They know that because I'm so comfortable being myself and I'm so comfortable not judging me anymore, they know I have no judgment for them. Women tell me all the time that being around me is one of the most calm spaces they can be. And it's because that, right? We're going to have great conversation. We're going to laugh a little bit. We're going to do some deep thinking, right? Because I'm a thinker and I'm a talker. So we're going to get into it when we're together, but it's going to be about uncovering. It's going to be about unearthing. It's going to be about coming home to yourself over and over and over again, but for you, not for me. And because I'm always on a mission to improve myself, other people's judgments can't faze me because I accept me, right? So what somebody else thinks of me is just a projection and a reflection of what they think of themselves. That's a non-discussion. But I know that I'm a safe space for other people because I'm a safe space for myself. I am my safe space. So feel free, right? Feel free to be you around me because that's all you have to be. And the very last thing that I will no longer do is to do things in certain ways simply because that's the way it's always been done. If you really think about it, how much of the stuff that you do is just because, well, that's the way it was, or that's the way your mom showed you, or that's the way your dad showed you, or that's the way your family did it, or, and you're exhausted. I'm going to give you an example. When my girls were young, we, for the holidays, was super tough because we would put them in their car seats, try to get to one of our family's houses, stay there for a little time, get the girls back in their car seats, go to the next house, trying to split our time between places. And then literally the holiday came and went. We didn't rest. We didn't connect. We didn't relax. Yeah, we ate. Yeah, we saw family, but we were on the go and it was stressful. I won't do that anymore. I am comfortable saying to family, I won't be there, but I love you. And that's okay. That's okay. Another thing is like when we were younger in my house, we would open gifts at midnight or after the midnight mass, excuse me, on Christmas Eve. We'd go to midnight mass, we'd come home and open gifts because, Santa showed up while we were gone. And I tried to do that with my kids for a long time. And then, we got to the point where midnight mass was changing, by the way. It was like at 10 p.m. And that was different. But then also, I got to a point when I stopped going to church. And that's a whole other podcast, okay, y'all? That's a whole other podcast. But I found the deepest relationship with God when I left the church. And that's just my truth. I'm not saying that's right for anybody else, but that is my truth. So we would like, the girls would be like dumb excited, go to sleep, exhausted, but dumb excited. And like 4 in the morning, they're like, Mommy, can we open presents? Mommy, can we open presents? And like, right, there's the part of me that would say, oh, we could have done it at midnight. Or there's the part of me that would say, we need to just wait till the morning when we're all going to have breakfast. And then there's the reality in me, the realist in me, the mother, the communicator, the one who loves connection so desperately that says, every time we do something our way, we unlock a new memory for our kids. And yeah, if it's 4 in the morning and they're up and they start my coffee, guess what? We're opening gifts at 4 in the morning. And they're probably going to eat some candy and there's going to be a big old disaster. And then we're all going to need a nap in the afternoon. And that's fine because we're staying home. We're staying home. I do not want to do things anymore just because that's the way it was always done. I don't want to be the one who takes care of my house just because that has been what women were taught their role is. We're not doing that here. I don't care if that's the way things are always done or that's the way things are outside of my house. I get to decide what's inside my house. I get to decide what I do inside of me. So, yeah, no, I'm not living on autopilot. I'm not going to keep doing things that I don't want to do just because I didn't know better. When I don't know better, I'm going to do my best to learn better because I deserve it and because my kids deserve it. Right? I'll give you another, just one more example. My daughter started her first job and it's not that she didn't like it, right? She kind of enjoyed it once she got there, but it was taking her whole weekends and she had gotten another tutoring job during the week. And she was just saying, like, I feel so bad. Like, I need to stick this out. And I was like, time out. You do not owe anybody your time and energy. Yes, you owe them a conversation. Yes, you owe them some notice. Yes, you take responsibility and say, I thought this was going to be different for me. It's not working out. They will find somebody else. They will replace you. You have a responsibility to speak clearly to them and to honor yourself, right? Honor yourself. And that's not something that I was always taught either. It was a lot of obligation to other people, obligation to a commitment. We're obligated to ourselves, guys. We're obligated to take care of us first so that we can show up in our life as the person that we want to be. That's the obligation, taking care of us first. So I know this was a short little episode, but I had to share with you a little of how and why I think the way that I think, and how these 47 years have changed the way that I see life, the way that I see me. And every day that passes, I no longer lie about my age the way that I used to. I'm no longer embarrassed about getting older. I am fully aware that not everybody is blessed with the ability to age. Not everybody makes it this far. And I'm grateful as hell. I'm grateful as hell for my journey. I'm grateful as hell for my heart. I'm grateful as hell for every lesson, for every tear, for every breakthrough. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for me. And I'm really excited to see how these years continue to change me and bring me closer to who I'm supposed to be. On that note, before we sign off for today, I want to take a moment and invite you to the Worthy Woman Experience. This will be my first in-person event taking place August 9th in Southbury, Connecticut. And full day experience. This is for the woman who thinks like I used to think, or who feels how I used to feel, exhausted and burnt out, giving to everybody, not able to receive, feeling like life is passing you by and you're the only one that doesn't matter in it, right? Feeling like the things that you feel about yourself, you don't want to give them to your daughters. You don't want your daughters walking around with the same insecurities that you have. You want them to grow up loving themselves so hard that the world can't break them. That's who this is for. The link will be in the caption, but you can go to evelynlevasseur.com/worthy-woman and find the link there. Early bird pricing is for 1 week only. So if you're interested, hop in there. Crazy excited for this event. I'm so excited to keep just touching more women and watching them break through, watching them love themselves, and watching them realize that everything that they were searching for, they already have. So I want to thank you for joining me today and tuning into another episode of Minding Mine on my birthday. If this episode resonated with you, I want you to please comment, rate, and review the podcast. Your feedback means the world to me. Until next time, I want you to go live your life on your terms, and please mind your business. We'll catch you in the next episode.